Okay, we're going to do day 96, part 2. Camping, sharing. Okay, so we're going to pretend that we're camping once again. And so let's think about this. I'm camping. We'll change the number to 8. There are 8 people. There are 8 people, and we're going to do 3 things. So while we're camping, we have, let's see, we'll say 2 loaves of bread. We're going to say 5 gallons of water. And we'll say we have 9 cupcakes. Okay, so we're camping, and we need to figure out how many people or how much each person's going to get of each thing. So we have to remember, what are we cutting up? What are we passing out? So we're going to do our total amount divided by number of groups equals our group size. So remember, this is our key. Even though we wrote it yesterday, I want you to write it again. So we need to figure out how much each person's going to get of bread. So there's 2 loaves. Okay, I'm just going to put that there. So if I want to, I could draw it out. I could draw my 2 loaves. That's loaf 1, loaf 2. Clearly, I'm not the best artist. Those are my 2 loaves. And so there's 8 people. Well, I'm camping, I'm tired, I don't want to think much about it. So I'm going to break this into 8 pieces. So everyone's going to get, this is going to person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5, person 6, person 7, person 8. And we're going to imagine that all of these are equal. Those are equal slices because I know it looks like 4 got a little extra. So that means everyone's going to get 1/8 from the first loaf. And there's still another loaf left, so I'm going to do, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The reason I'm counting to 8 is because that's the number of groups I have, 8 people. And they got 1/8 from the first loaf, so now they're going to get 1/8 from the second. And if I add those together, then that means they're going to have 2/8. Oh, it looks like it's going to look fuzzy. They're going to have 2/8 of bread, okay? Now, some of you might be saying, but wait. I'm going to write or. Some of you might be saying, if I have 2 loaves of bread and there's 8 people, what do I know about 2 and 8? Well, I know that 4 times 2 equals 8. So all of this could go to person 1. This could go to person 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that means each person got 1/4. Person 1 got 1/4. Person 2 got 1/4. Remember the cookie cake problem? We talked about how 5 people go to the first cake, the next 5 go to the second cake. That's kind of the same thing. So that means that 2/8 equals 1/4. Those are equivalent. So if you want to be like a toddler, which is fine, sometimes it's fun to be like a toddler, and have 2/8, you want to have 2 small slices, each of 1/8. Or if you just want to have 1 big slice, it would be 1/4. 1 slice the size of 1/4, or 2 slices the size of 1/4. Okay? So the equation for division would be, because we're cutting it up, 2 divided by 8. Nope. Yep, 8, because that's the number of people. Total amount is 2. That's what I have. And 8 people, so then that would get me 2/8. Okay, that would be the division problem. This is how we word it out. This is our rationale and our thinking behind it. Okay, we're going to do gallons of water real quickly, and then you are going to try cupcakes by yourself. So I'm going to flip it over to the next page. Let's see, water equals 5 gallons, just so I can remember. So I'm going to draw my 5 gallons of water out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are my gallons of water. And I have 8 people. So if we want to, just like we did in class day, remember how we had people lined up by the cubbies representing? If we want to do that, we could do person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5, person 6, person 7, person 8. Now, if I give 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, that's not fair because person 6, 7, and 8 don't get anything. That's not fair at all. So we're going to have to break this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8. That means we've done 1 gallon. That means we have to do it 4 more times. One-eighth, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. I hear you, Mr. Cahoon. And 1/8. I don't know if you could hear him in the background, but he was yelling about how he almost came in here. But he didn't because he saw my recording sign. So I would have to do that 3 more times. Well, by the time I'm done with it, one group, they're all going to have 1/8. So that means my group size would equal 5/8. Okay? The equation for that would look like this. What I'm breaking up is 5 gallons divided by my number of groups is 8. Just like that. So, this is what we're going to do. Hopefully you are understanding that more. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, why couldn't we have broken this down differently like we did with the first problem? Well, this one, this way, by breaking it down by people each time, it will always work. It will always, always, always work. Just like it did here, it worked here. But the problem is that we could have divided it differently because those two numbers, 2 and 8, they have some math facts in common. They have some, they do have 4 in common. So sometimes it works this way, but this way always works. Remember how I was telling you today about my husband and cutting up 15 hot dogs into 10 little pieces? That always going to work. But sometimes we can figure out different ways to save ourselves, but we still have the same amount. So I want you to try to figure out how much each person would get if we had 9 cupcakes to share amongst 8 people. So we're going to do cupcakes equals 9 to share. So, and I want you to figure out 9 to share between 8 people. I want you to draw out 9 cupcakes, and I want you to show me how you're sharing them between 8 people. Now, there's going to be a few different ways which you could do this. So, come back to class with any questions you may have. And the shout out that I have right now is, it was very late last night, but hopefully you guys saw NC State beat Virginia Tech in basketball last night. It was a great game, and it's okay that, or actually it's a really good thing that NC State won. They did a really good job, but NC State has a Duke game coming up and the Carolina game coming up. And Virginia Tech beat Duke in basketball. And so if Virginia Tech beat Duke in basketball, then that means NC State has a possibility of beating Duke in basketball, which would be a great day. Now, it's okay that I'm talking about Virginia Tech like that because my dad and my grandpa both went to Virginia Tech. So there was a family rivalry going on last night. But have a good night. Hopefully it snows. Bye.